Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, is on track to become a mega city by 2050. A mega city in the making means a mega appetite. So the people of Kuala Lumpur needs to be fed. This thriving city has no shortage of amazing eats. And that's why this is one of my favorite foodie destinations.
Last one for you.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hello. And just like that, we are back in Kuala Lumpur after 2 fantastic days in Penang. And we have arrived here at KL Central at the ALOR KL Central Hotel behind us. Room is not ready, so we're heading out for lunch at Bukit Bintang. So let's do this.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home. I travel lots because I love to fly and eat. So this travel series will focus on one of my favorite countries, Malaysia. We begin in Melbourne, where Malaysia Airlines takes us to Kuala Lumpur on their brand new Airbus A330-900neo. We begin eating almost immediately on arrival because night markets are just the best. We break the norm of flying to Penang, instead choosing to journey there by train. Definitely a welcome alternative, especially when you're not in a rush. Besides more night markets, Penang welcomes us with open arms as we walk into one of the most stunning colonial hotels in the region. Heading back to Kuala Lumpur, we get to fill our tummies even further as our stay continues, before we make the return journey back to Australia via Melbourne. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss a single episode. Even better, become a member for early access to these videos. Whatever you do, thank you for your support. Kuala Lumpur, or commonly known as KL, is the capital city of Malaysia. It is officially known as the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur, or in Bahasa Melayu, Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur. Like most metropolis of the world, it is made up of a cluster of regions, which has, over time, grown and combined into one gigantic area we see today. It is home to some 8.8 million people, making it one of the fastest growing metro areas in Southeast Asia, in both population and economic development. Most people associate the KL skyline with the Twin Towers, and would head there as a first stop. But I am not most tourists now, am I? Despite being born in Singapore, I have spent a lot of my childhood in Malaysia. And one of my favorite go-to areas in KL is Bukit Bintang. Besides being one of KL's numerous tourist enclaves, Bukit Bintang is also the location of KL's commercial district, filled with towering office blocks. This being a weekday lunchtime, these workers pour onto the busy sidewalks from their various air-conditioned offices in search of lunch. And we're here to join in the action. One of the popular weekday lunchtime hangouts is this rather retro-looking shopping mall, which functions solely to feed these hungry workers. Welcome to Wisma Causeway. Of all the amazing food we could have had in KL, what on earth were we doing at this retro shopping center, which was built in 1978? Well, on the flight from Penang to KL earlier this morning, while flipping through the in-flight magazine, an article caught my eye. It was one about fish and chips. In the spirit of trying something different in KL, This was how we ended up at Lad and Dad Fish and Chips here at Wisma Causeway, because that article was devoted to this establishment. I've come a full circle, because the founder of this eatery is actually Singaporean. And life for Lad and Dad really began at a hawker centre on that island republic. They have found much success and have since opened this humble corner store. I like small menus, which normally means they are doing a small number of items really well. And there are only two mains to choose from, perch or haddock. We both went for the former. I'm hungry and cannot wait to start digging in. The inspiration for this establishment came from the time the owner spent in England as a student. He was so taken in by English fish and chips, he wanted to bring this concept back so hurriedly, he didn't even attend his graduation ceremony. He managed to convince his father to join him in this business venture, and hence the name Lad and Dad. The chips are battered and crispy, and we have 5 types of sauces to choose from. Hubby went for the classic tartare and sambal aioli, and me, mushy peas and curry. The sambal aioli and curry sauce has been adapted to suit local tastes. Depending on how much you like the traditional stuff, a curry gravy for fish and chips can either delight or disgust. I've had my fair share of fish and chips in the UK, and lo and behold, I think the curry is probably my top pick for accompanying sauces. I'm also a stubborn follower of tradition, so I did not forget the mushy peas, which was delightful. I thought the sambal aioli was alright, nothing to write home about. But ultimately, fish and chips is nothing without the batter. And these guys have hit the nail on the head with this crispy, savoury batter, which has been seasoned with 7 secret herbs and spices. Choosing the perch meant we were tucking into a very firm fish, but it was moist and flaky. This entire meal gets a thumbs up. With all that deep-fried greasy goodness, it was balanced with an incredibly tart frozen lemonade, which was absolutely refreshing. I will be back in KL in a couple of months once this video goes to air, and I'm already planning a return visit to Lad and Dad.
Who would have thought, coming to KL, we end up having fish and chips? You like it? Yes. Yeah, he liked it. So if it's a pass by him, it's a pass by me as well. I loved it, especially the mushy peas. The batter was pretty good as well. I like it when it's like fluffy and crispy like that. Yeah, what an absolute gem of a find. And all it took was an ad on the in-flight magazine on the flight earlier on from Penang. Well, let's move on to our next destination.
If there is a highly recommended restaurant somewhere, even if it means we have to get stuck in heavy rush hour evening traffic which was going to take us into another state, you know that's not going to stop me.
Phew, that was a long ride from KL. It took us an hour. When we got into the taxi, it was still bright and now it's dark already. And we have driven so far, or rather we spent so much time on the cab, we've actually driven into another state. So we were in Wilayah Perkesatuan and we are now in the state of Selangor in Petaling Jaya. So we are at this restaurant called JATUJAK, which is a Thai restaurant. I'm meeting a couple of friends. You would have seen them in my previous Kuala Lumpur video. So I am really absolutely starving right now. So come along with me and let's get dinner started. Let's do this.
The name JATUJAK is in reference to Bangkok's largest and most vibrant market. Tonight, this restaurant aims to transport that vibrance across the border into our dinner plates. How do I know this is going to be a great experience? The aroma of Thai spices floating out of the kitchen should hit you square in the face. And that's how you can tell. And this aroma I'm referring to is mostly missing from the watered-down Thai restaurants in Australia. So tonight, I have to milk this opportunity for all it's worth. This is kamu, which is a Thai interpretation of a popular dish from the Teochew region of China, known as te ka in that region. It consists of stewed pork knuckles, and it's normally served with a steaming bowl of white rice. The very distinctive fragrance comes from the generous use of aromatics like star anise, cloves, and cinnamon. And then we have pak bung, which is a water spinach, one of the most popular types of greens used in Thai cuisine. Of course, it has to be stir-fried in chili and garlic. This is another fiery dish, which is a salad of grilled pork neck, known as nam tok ko mu yang, which has a very specific charcoal aftertaste due to the grilled pork, and it's all tossed in a lot of chili, garlic, and fish sauce. The incredibly spicy and sour soup tom yam goong is as quintessential to a Thai kitchen like beans on toast is to British cuisine. Gai jiao pu is one of those everyday retro dishes which has recently seen a resurgence in popularity. It is just a simple crab omelette which has been seasoned with fish sauce and deep fried in very hot oil to achieve this fluffy nature. You think that's it, right? How much food can 4 people eat? The final main dish, pla kapong nung manao, is a steamed fish with lime and garlic. Barramundi has been used tonight, but I suppose you can use any type of fish you wish. Thailand is Malaysia's immediate neighbor to the north, so there is no shortage of authentic Thai flavors here in Kuala Lumpur. In fact, along the northern border, there are a lot of cultural and culinary overlaps. Watch me savor this absolutely tender piece of pork knuckle in all its gelatinous beauty. How about this seriously fluffy crab omelette? This goes so well with white rice. However, if you're not used to spicy cuisine, Thai food can sometimes catch you off guard, and the chili kick can be extremely intense for the uninitiated. Ah yes, here we are, barely able to walk after we had finished everything. We slept so well that night, and we needed this rest because there was still day number 2 to conquer. And good day guys, welcome to a brand new day in Kuala Lumpur. It is also my last day here. So I'm out for lunch with the usual suspects, my 2 friends here in Kuala Lumpur. And today we are in the middle of Chinatown. This is Jalan Sultan. And we are going for BABI GULING, which is the one up here, which is above Domino's Pizza. So we're going for roast pork. And BABI GULING is a Balinese style roast pork, and this is what we're gonna have for lunch today. So let's head in there pronto. The largest Muslim country in the world is Indonesia, with about 245 million Muslims, accounting for 13% of the world's population. The island of Bali, unlike the rest of the country, is unique because 90% of that island's population is Hindu. So one of the more significant Balinese dish is BABI GULING, which is roast suckling pig, which stands out in a Muslim majority Indonesia. Today, we have come to Warung BABI GULING Jenny, which in itself is an interesting fusion. While BABI GULING is Balinese, the owner of this restaurant, Jenny, is from the Philippines. If you're easily distressed by watching actual food preparation of an animal, I suggest you forward this clip to the designated time using the scroller in your device. BABI GULING is really a roasted suckling pig which has been grilled over charcoal to the point it is all crispy. In the olden days, this was made to commemorate a special occasion. These days, this Spitfire roast is easily available anytime we wish. A spice paste known as basa gede, which consists of turmeric, coriander, lemongrass, galangal, garlic, shallots and chili, gives this roast an extremely aromatic whiff. It's normally sliced thinly like this, and the very prized crispy crackling put to the side. And that's definitely the highlight. But the rest of the pork slices weren't too bad either. The spice mix gave it a very earthy flavor, and I wasn't about to fill my tummy up unnecessarily with rice. Man, this is absolutely pork heaven. If you're ever in need of BABI guling, come and check this place out.
My hair!
There are historical buildings, and then there is the old Rex Cinema right here in the heart of Chinatown. The venue was shut for decades and left abandoned, and was recently revived into a community space, leaving its original dilapidated aesthetics for all to enjoy. Sometimes the original is better left untouched, and that's what was done here. The cracked walls, faded paint, worn floor tiles have all been allowed to exist in this new lease on life. Rumors about this location being a paranormal hotspot have also brought on a renewed interest. After that satisfying lunch, we were just here for coffee, and this cafe only serves coffee. So you know it's good coffee when the menu isn't distracted by finger foods and the normal confectionery. There's none of those, so you concentrate purely on this rich bevy. We really needed to chill and digest our lunch, because the sun soon set and it was time for the next meal.
Well, and here we are, the final destination for this video about Kuala Lumpur. So this being our final few hours here, we are gonna have dinner at this restaurant behind me called Siu Siu. I absolutely love these kind of retro eateries that's located in the middle of a lush forest. And places like these, they only accept cash, so do not get caught out when you come here. Because cash is king, so not everything accepts credit card here. Alright, so just something to take note if you decide to dine here. Anyway, I'm getting pretty hungry, so let's head in there to have our final dinner in Kuala Lumpur. Let's do this.
My first memory of Siu Siu goes back over 2 decades. So I'm pretty sure they have been feeding my parents and my grandparents since the beginning of time. This sort of unpretentious setting within the lush confines of a hilly forest makes this even more fascinating, because the modernity of KL's highway and skyscrapers is literally just a minute away. Char siu, or barbecued pork loins, is a Cantonese staple. Traditional char siu is reddish in color, and the darkening red depends on how far the caramelization process has been taken. Here in Malaysia, the char siu is dark brown, pushed to the limits just before the sugar becomes totally burned. So the edges are crispy, and the rendered fat within just gives the meat an extremely tender and moist texture. This is definitely the highlight at Siu Siu, and their char siu sells out very quickly if you're dining here on a weekend. So much so, pre-orders have to be taken when you're calling in to book a table. Pai Quat Wong, or the literal translation of pork ribs king, is another perennial favorite whenever you're dining at these kind of retro establishments. It might look like char siu, but the marinade consists of HP sauce, ketchup, Worcestershire and plum sauce. Vinegar is further added to give it that distinctive acidity, and finally balanced with a lot of sugar for that sticky caramelized outcome. The savory depth is incredibly rich with a fruity undertone because of the plum sauce. This acidic flavor bomb is best with white rice. But nah, I'm not wasting space with carbs, so on to the next dish. Just like Singapore's famous chili crab, Malaysia too has several crab dishes which are distinctive to this country. In the last decade or so, the buttermilk crab has been gaining prominence, and I remember stumbling upon this when I used to work in Petaling Jaya, just south of KL. The trick to this thick, luscious, heavy gravy is the generous use of butter and evaporated milk. The richness is cut through by the sharp, fragrant aroma of curry leaves and lots of garlic. This taste profile is most unique because there is nothing like it in Australia. And the best bit about having saucy crab dishes like this is to have a serve of deep-fried buns or mantou. It is the perfect vessel to mop up the flavorful gravy and, of course, clog up your blood vessels afterwards. This really calls for some extra time at the gym. The final dish for tonight's video crosses international boundaries. Found in both Singapore and Malaysia, the black pepper crab is one intense, peppery, fiery, umami-rich dish. No surprise, since Singapore and Malaysia used to belong in the same federation, the black pepper crab can almost be seen as a food item to unite the often squabbling opposites. This dish is highly aromatic because a lot of butter is used to create the distinctive sheen you see here. Incorporating other fragrant components like shallots, garlic, ginger, and curry leaves, you can just imagine the aroma of the black pepper crab. If only there was some way for me to convey the smells on this table into your device and into your nose, I'm sure you'd be hungry. What an incredible culinary journey it has been. Who would have thought we'd come all the way to KL for fish and chips, that absolutely fiery, satisfying Thai dinner, delightfully sinful BABI GULING, and finally ending in this crescendo of retro goodness at Siu Siu. Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia's foodie capital, both figuratively and literally. Which dish did you like the best? Leave a comment below to let me know. For now, it's time for us to conclude this video by joining live Ryan at Siu Siu to wrap this up. Well guys, that is the end of my dinner at Siu Siu. So this also concludes my video in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So what do you think about all those eateries that I have showcased in this video? Have your say in the comments because I am pretty eager to hear from you. Would you like to go to those eateries after watching this video? Let me know. So in the meantime, I've chucked details of my Instagram on your screen right now. Hit me up there. Chuck me a follow so you can come along with me on my travels in real time. Of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. And I'll see you for the next video where I make my way from Kuala Lumpur back to Australia in Melbourne. I'll see you guys around. Bye!